All the scales that you play in a major key are always sounding joyful, happy, that kind of a vibe. So when you want to do songs that are sad and gloomy, which scales do you go to? That is the reason why you need to learn a scale called as minor scales. So we have 3 different types of minor scales, and let's learn how to figure out what notes you have for every minor scale. And if you have not watched the major scale video up till now, then I suggest you go and watch the previous video so that you will have an idea about what I'm talking about in this video as well. I'm Florina Jain, otherwise known as Flow of Music, and we're going to learn about minor scales in this video. So let's get started. In major scales, we saw about something called as a whole note and a half note. So we're going to use these concepts and also talk about what are the other 3 divisions when it comes to a minor scale and figure out what scales there are. There are 3 types of minor scales. The first one is called as a natural minor scale. The second one is called as a harmonic minor scale. And the third one is called as a melodic minor scale. It all comes down to how each scale sounds. When I play a C major scale, so it sounds joyful and happy. Similarly, each of these minor scales have a particular tone to it. So we're going to look at each of these scales step by step. Let's talk about natural minor scale first. So when we deal about natural minor scale, you need to know a concept called as a relative key or the relative minor scale. Every major scale that you learned till now has a respective relative minor scale that has the same major scale notes. So this sentence might be a bit confusing, but let me show you. When we take the C major scale, a relative minor scale for a major scale can be determined by just going 3 steps back. So let's go 3 steps back. So C major scale, to find the relative minor, I'm going to go 3 steps back. 1, 2, 3. This is the note A. So A minor natural scale has the note similar to C major. In C, we didn't have any of the black notes, right? So let's just try playing the same thing, except that we're going to start with A. This is a sound of a natural minor scale. And what we played right now is A natural minor scale. So it had the note similar to C. So if I want to have notes of a natural minor scale that is relative to D, I go 3 steps back. 1, 2, 3. So B minor natural scale has notes similar to a D major scale. With this, when we want to write the formula for a natural minor, let's just write it down. So we're going to do that for A. So starting note, you don't write anything for that. Now the next note, it's a whole note. So let's write that. Next is a half note. If all these sounds really weird to you, then you need to check out my previous video that's linked right now. After that, we have a whole note, another whole note, half note, whole note, another whole note, and that's where we come and rest on A. So you start in the same note and you end in the same note, and this is the formula for finding a natural minor scale. And like I said, this is the tone of a natural minor scale. So listen to it again. So you can practically find the relative minor for any major scale. So if I want to find the relative minor for G, G has 1 sharp. If I want to find the relative minor for G major, you just go 3 steps back. 1, 2, 3. So you can do E minor natural scale and it follows all the notes in the G major scale. So this is how you find relative notes, and this is the formula for a natural minor scale. Now we're going to look at a harmonic minor scale. In a harmonic minor scale, you're going to follow the same notes as a natural minor scale, except you're going to raise the 7th note. In the previous video, we spoke spoke that when I talk about raising something, it means I'm increasing a note by a semitone. So if I'm raising C, then it's C sharp. If I'm going to lower C, then it's B. If I'm raising E, you just go the note next to it, it's F. So that's the idea by what I say raising. So we're going to raise the 7th note. Before that, let's just number all the notes. I'm going to write SN for the starting note. So this is my first note, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7th, and my 8th. So when I said raising, I'm going to raise this note by a half value. When you do that, you get a harmonic scale. So we're going to try a harmonic minor scale. We're going to follow the same formula and see what we're getting. First is the starting note. So it's A. Now we need whole note of A. It's B. Write B. Then half note. C. Now the whole note. D. Now the whole note. E. You need a half note, which is F. Now you need a whole note. So technically, G is our whole note, but we're going to raise it, which means you won't play G. You're going to play, that is G sharp. So it's G sharp followed by A again. The only thing is you just write the same notes that you write for a natural scale, except for the 7th note you write the raised note. That's it, okay? So I'm going to try G harmonic minor. We're going to follow the same thing. So first you're going to write the starting note, which is G. Now you need a whole note. So ending is also G. So let's just finish that. So this is done, this is done. We're going to write everything in between. So after G you need a whole note. So this is G. Whole note is A. You need another half note. Half note of A is, you can't write A sharp because remember the rules that we spoke about in the last video? You can't repeat the same names. So this is going to be B flat. Now you need a whole note, which is C. Need another whole note, which is D. You need a half note, which is E flat. You need a whole note, but then it needs to be raised. So E flat, the whole note is F, but you're going to raise it, which is F sharp. So when you play this together, it's giving that sad kind of a vibe, right? So this is the sound of a harmonic minor. Now we're going to look at a melodic minor scale, and this is the last division when it comes to major scale as a whole. So melodic minor scale, the very simple part is you're going to raise both the 6th and the 7th by a half degree. So both these places are going to be raised. Rest of the notes remain the same. So in a harmonic minor, you only raise the 7th. In a melodic minor, you raise both the 6th and the 7th. So let's try that out for a melodic minor scale. So we're going to start with A. So basically this is done. We're going to end with A. So this is also done. In between, we're going to fill this up. So first we need a whole note of A. So A, whole note of A is B. Write that down. We need a half note of B. After B, C. Now we need a whole note of C, which is D. Need another whole note of D. After D, you get E. Now you're going to raise the half note. So after E, this is the note, but I'm going to raise it. So it's going to be F sharp. Okay. So which was the half note? F was a half note. So I need the whole note of F, which is G. But again in a melodic, you're going to raise the 7th as well, which will be G sharp. Let me clarify it again if you have confusion. Just write the natural minor scale notes. You're only going to raise the 6th note and the 7th note by a half degree. When I play this right now, This is the sound of a melodic minor scale. So we're going to do something interesting right now. We're going to just write all three scales for a single note. So first, we're going to try natural minor scale. Let me write the formula next to it so that you have some idea. So now let's write for natural minor for D. So this is a relative minor for some major scale, right? So we'll find out what is a major scale. So D, I'm going to move 3 steps forward. 1, 2, 3. So F major. The same notes that F major has comes for a D. Or if you want, we can write it from the formula. So let's do it with the formula. I'm going to write D. Whole note of D is E. Half note of E, F. Whole note of F, G. Whole note of G, A. Half note of A, but I'm going to write it as B flat. Whole note of B flat, C. And finally, whole note of C is D. So you only have a B flat. So let's play it. Now let's write the harmonic minor. Now it's easier to write directly by looking at this, right? So I can number the names of the notes if that is easier for you. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So in a harmonic minor scale, you are gonna raise only the 7th note. Rest of the notes are the same. So let's write everything down. So D is same, E, F, G, A, B flat, and now comes the 7th note. I'm just going to raise it by a half degree. After C, you have C sharp. So you're going to write C sharp and finally D. So we'll see how that sounds like. The last thing we have is a melodic minor. In a melodic minor, you're going to raise both the 6th note and the 7th note. So let's write everything as a natural minor. So you have D, E, F, G, A. Now comes the tricky part. You're going to raise the 6th note and it has to be in terms of B. So 6th note. So it's in B flat. This is a note we already have. That's the note we have. Raise it by a half. The note right next to it is B. So you're going to write B. Now, you're going to raise this by half and we already saw that is C sharp. So you're just going to write C sharp followed by a D. So let's see what this sounds like. This is the sound of a melodic minor scale. So we're going to listen to all 3 scales just once at a stretch so that tune will register in your mind. D natural minor scale. D harmonic minor scale. D melodic minor scale. These are the 3 minor scales that you'll have to deal with. When you want to pick a minor scale, you're going to choose which minor scale you want. Is it natural, harmonic or melodic? And whatever you choose, this is how you figure out the 7 notes. If you found this video useful, let me know in the comments. I'll be very happy to read your comments. Thank you so much for watching. Keep making music and I'll see you guys in another video.